Politicians love headline hunting, particularly when they're on their uppers. Boris Johnson, of course, can be assumed to be headline hunting. That's all he can do at the moment. Mr. Verhofstat says that Ukraine should join the EU as soon as possible. Boris says that Ukraine should join NATO. He's paralleled in that by the president-elect of the Czech Republic, also saying that Ukraine should join NATO as soon as possible. This is very foolish. Very, very foolish. We should not be ramping up this conflict. Now, I think there's very good reason, moral reason, more than political reason, why we should support President Zelensky and Ukraine in their defense against Russia. And a strong defense against Russia, the aggressor, Putin's Russia, Putin's Kremlin, illicitly attacked Ukraine. And Verhofstadt is completely wrong when he claims that this would not have happened if Britain had remained part of the EU. Putin had already reclaimed Crimea while Britain was still part of the EU. Maybe the debate about Brexit was ongoing. Maybe Putin could see how this debate was going to pan out. But the fact is that Britain and Europe were together at the time when Putin marched into Crimea. So Verhofstadt's rhetoric simply doesn't stack up there. And I'm afraid Mr. Johnson's obsession with looking Churchillian, even to the stance that he adopts when he's sitting down, is childish. Churchill was an original, so there's no point in becoming an imitation. Mr. Johnson is better at becoming Johnson rather than Churchill. Mrs. Thatcher didn't aim to be another Churchill. She aimed to be a Mrs. Thatcher. So it's time to stop the aping of other people and start to be yourself, Boris. And, you are an entertaining and an interesting person. But in this, you are wrong. It's not the right time to be pushing Ukraine further into conflict. The right thing to do is to defend Ukraine, to negotiate peace, and to ensure there is peace across Europe and there is a resolution. And that is going to be very hard to achieve. It's not going to be achieved by bullying Ukraine into accepting the terms that Mr. Putin wants, but nor is it going to be achieved by enabling Putin's propaganda machine, because that is precisely what Boris and Verhofstadt are doing. Putin's propaganda machine needs to be challenged, because Putin is putting it out that NATO is invading Russia. Not true. Putin is putting it out that Poland has invaded Ukraine. Not true. Putin is putting it out that Ukraine is full of degenerates. Not true. That Ukraine is full of Nazis. Not true. So much rubbish. And we have not challenged this propaganda machine. We need to challenge it. We need to do so in Russian, and we need to get the message out that actually we are not Russophobic. We like Russians. We don't like Putin very much at the moment, and Putin needs to back down. And Putin needs to square up and recognize where truth is and where falseness is, and get on the right side again. Because at the moment, he is fast degenerating into an evil monster, a tyrant. He is already treating his own country badly. He's imprisoning anybody who doesn't agree with him. He's destroying literature and works of art in the name of what? Some sort of prejudice? The last time we saw book burning was the Nazi regime. Now Putin has given a 21st century twist to that, and it's called book pulping. And anything that has a smattering of LGBTQ plus is pulped. That means the works of Oscar Wilde, pulped or censored with black lines all over the place. It's wrong. It's wrong. And we judge the rise of evil by these small details. And these small details are apparent.